Hello, 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 my darlings. Thank you for joining me on A Slice of Life, A Slice of Life. Have you seen that age inappropriate commercial? You know, it's a show on We TV, and it's called Age Inappropriate. And they show people who are 10 to 20 years difference in age in their relationship. So I was thinking, like, it made me smile, not because of the age difference, because I was just laughing at some of the things that they were saying between them, but because it reminded me that every relationship has two seasons. Two seasons. The first 6 months. Now, you know how it is the first 6 months and everything after that. I must have made something fall. Just talking so loudly. Anyway, the first 6 months, you know how it is. You overlook the flaws. Oh, that's right. He'll be all right. Oh, she'll be all right. Every phone call is wonderful. You see the name and just, he's calling, she's calling me. And every date is magical. Everything you think about is perfect. The first 6 months, no flaws, doesn't matter. You make excuses. It's okay. I don't care. He didn't mean to do it. She didn't mean to do it. I'm used to that. All kind of things you make up. And it's okay the first 6 months. And we're talking about these age inappropriate people. Go look and see what they're doing over there. I don't get any money from watching We. Okay, I'm just saying they got this whole age. Because many of you all are in that age. I don't want to say age inappropriate because it may be what you want. That's who you like. You like who you like. How do they say the heart loves what it loves. And then after 6 months, life arrives. Sometimes it arrives in 3 months, but life definitely arrives every day. Life arrives. Someone gets sick. That's that whole thing. You saw me, I did a show some time ago about they make adult diapers, male and female. So someone gets sick. So you got to think about the age inappropriate part. Just be reminded of it may be a diaper situation. Someone loses a job. Then what? You age inappropriate, depending on who's the age. He is 20 years younger than you. He loses his job, but you already knew that because you had your job. And then she is 20 years younger than you. You already knew that because that's why maybe you all together because you had everything, just saying. So, sometimes you lose your job and then parents begin aging and children need help and technology changes how you communicate because one of you all came along when people picked up the phone and dialed out, and another one of you came along when all you know is a cell phone. You never heard of a phone being connected to the wall. You don't know anything about a phone and a wall and third party and any of that. And then social media enters the relationship because you always on TikTok. That other one is always on TikTok, and you just found your way to the computer. You just got where you know the computer. So, think about those first 6 months and then the next 6 months. Social media, when social media enters the relationship, people love to be on their phones of a certain age group. And, or those of us who are in the media, like I am, I'm always on my phone. I'm always looking for something to talk about for this show. So I am one of those people. And if I were to, my person would be younger, then we would get along fine because we both would be on the phone checking our social media. Then old friends return. Now you out and you see somebody that is your age of the group, and so you're the older, younger, and you see your person your age, and then they start looking at you sideways, and you looking at them sideways. Just a lot of stuff goes on when you meet old friends. Then the money gets tight, Then that's first 6 months, and the second 6 months. The second 6 months, money can make a difference, have an impact on the overall relationship, especially if you talk about money prior to you getting together, and or something happened drastically, money didn't come where it was supposed to come from, or stopped coming from where you thought it was going to come from, and both of you all end up broke, and then you're looking at each other. And then dreams change. You came into the relationship with one kind of dream, and then in the middle of the relationship, you got a different kind of dream. You're going to be an A when they met you, and now you're going to be a B. And you made that switch. Are they going to be an A when you met them? That's why you're going to help them get to that. And they said, well, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be a B. But you don't even know what that is or what that's going to do. I'm ready to go on the road and start singing. You had all kind of, but I was going to be a fireman. I'm just saying, things change. Those 6 months, then your body's change, stuff happens. I'm a good example of your body changing. Your body changes and bodies change, Perhaps some bad habits caught up with you. I'm not talking about health, because you can't do anything about the health thing, or maybe you can. You have health issues, but sometimes your body's change because of potato chips. They taste really good, and when you're in college, but they may not be have the same impact when you're in another relationship. Just saying, history catches up with us too. Like stuff comes back to haunt you sometimes. You don't want it to come back, but it does come back. And if you're age inappropriate, how you handle it may be a conflict on how one age will handle it and another age will handle it. It's a lot that goes on when you are in love the first 6 months. And then the second 6 months, the question is no longer whether or not you're in love, but whether or not you can build a life together. All I've talked about is building a life together. These kind of things happen. Life happens. And can you build a life with that person, knowing up front you may have some issues? Like in my case, you know that I have some serious things going on health-wise and age-wise. Do you want to do all that? You don't want to do all that. So, you got to think about, do you want to do all that? You have to know, do you want to build whatever it is left to build with the person? Do you want to do that? Do you want to build a life with that person? Have a long, like I said, I met someone who told me that a young woman has cancer, has been fighting cancer a long time, very long time. She's been on the road a minute here, because I've been on it and she's been on it with me pretty long time now. And this gentleman told her he didn't care. He wanted to take care of her, whatever that took. And just never heard anybody say anything like that. He said, whatever it takes to take care of you, however many days you have, I want those days with you. Now that's unusual. Anyway, it says in sickness and in health. That's what it says. You stood there and said it. You heard it. It sounded good when they were saying it, and everybody was there, everybody was healthy. But when it comes down to when it really happens, you just have to say it again. In sickness and health, that's what I said. Except for better or worse too. Because in sickness and health and better or worse, you're looking at them sideways, and they look at you sideways. But those words were written because someone understood that real love is tested by ordinary days, not extraordinary days. No, but the ordinary day, just the ordinary, mundane, got to go to the store and still get that kiss before you go to the store. So before we judge on the age gap couple, perhaps we should ask ourselves 3 questions, especially on the We program, before you judge the people. And then there's a lot to judge on there. Number 1, can they handle real life? Can you handle real life? If you're in a situation where it's the age gap, can both of you handle real life? Because real life is real life, not vacation, not romance, but real life. When my favorite sentence, life is life. And can you handle that? And can you grow together? Whatever that takes. Because careers change, history changes us, and technology has definitely changed us. And careers change you, and your bodies change. I tell you, that's with me. Can love keep growing through some body changes? I think about, I didn't have to deal with anybody when I had breast cancer. I just had breast cancer. I had to deal with what I had to deal with. They had mastectomy and then went on with it, So, but I'm just saying, you got to figure out, do I do this? I have some people who have a mastectomy. I had to figure out whether or not they want to have a new one put in place. have the reconstruction surgery. And you have to think about that. Think about whether or not you want to go through all that. You know, I was younger, so I could go through all that. But you think about when you get older, do you want to do all that? You know, I think about the surgeries I had now. You know, do you want to deal with somebody that got all these surgeries? And you know, I had to walk around with an infusion machine, putting chemo in me to keep me alive. You know, you think about that. A person maybe have a colonoscopy and they have to wear, doesn't work out, they have to wear a bag. Do you want to deal with that? I mean, it's sickness and health. The truth is, you know, it's just life. Life has something for you, baby. And you got to have God on your side. That's what it boils down to me. To me, you got to have God on your side. You got to believe in Jesus Christ. You just got to believe, you know, you got to say, he's going to take care of me. And the real question is, when life changes us, what will we choose? Will we choose one another? When life changes the situation, will you still choose each other? Will you still choose me? Will you still choose me? Will you still choose who? Are you going to still choose you? You know, it's good right now. It's celebration time. Hold on, however it goes. You know, everything is happening. Balloons are flowing, your stomach is fluttering, you know, and I can't wait to hear its voice on the other end of the phone or her voice on the other end of the phone. And all that is good, well and good. I love every bit of it. I love the part of love. Love is just, it's the best. It's the best. But how deep is that love? Will it take you over the rough ride? Are you building something together? Can you stand and say, you know what, we in this, I don't care what. Can you look at a naked face with no makeup on, no lipstick on, no hair on? Can you look at all that? Can you look at, he got something happened, he lost all his hair. You know, can you look at all that? Can you look at all that can happen now? Some stuff happens, you know. When life changes us, will we still choose one another? That's my question for you out there. When life changes us, will you choose one another? Will you choose one another? Because love isn't proven in the first 6 months. Love is proven in the months and the years that follow. It's not the first 6 months. It's that second half, that second season, that second part of it all. You know, and the second may come any time. Will you choose each other still when life changes your body, your mind, your spirit, your career, your money? Will you hook arms and say, come on, baby, come on, we got this? But one thing you know, you do have, is that I love you. We got this. And you can't do anything about it.